So the trailer for episode 9 just came out. We might be cooked. We might be done for, but I feel like there's quite a bit that I need to talk about in regards to the trailer, even though I'm not really the kind of person to do theories. But there was a lot in here that piqued my interest. First of all, Jax. I don't know, he has me concerned. They all have me concerned. But that one clip where it showed Jax's silhouette, but it was like TV static or the snow kind of stuff. I don't know, whatever you refer to it as. But I feel like there could be a couple explanations for that. The first one being what happens to him whenever he holds his breath. Rabbits do a thing, it's called tonic immobility or, playing dead. They just go limp. Other animals do it too, but Jax is a rabbit, rabbits do it, and I feel like they would represent that by, like, the numbness. Like, you know how when your foot falls asleep, it feels really numb? Maybe that's what's going on there. And I feel like he wouldn't want to hold his breath in front of people, especially if it's just him doing that. So maybe he goes numb and limp whenever he holds his breath, so that's why he doesn't do it, because it also shows a vulnerability about him. Because he's supposed to be the manly man guy who is perfect in every way, shape, and form, and doesn't have any bad factors about himself. He's the best, he's the coolest. That's basically all that there is about him that he wants people to think. But he's obviously not that way, so he would not hold his breath in front of people to try to keep up that personality that he's obviously failing to keep up as we go on through the show. The other thing it could be is a representation of what it feels like glitching. Let me explain. Whenever Ragatha in the pilot got beat the crap out of by Kaufmo, she got glitchy and stuff all over her body and was not able to move. What if the abstractions get out? Because Kane isn't there anymore. People have been saying, oh, what, like, the cellar would open because Kane isn't there to close it. And I'm like, hey, that makes sense, because it does. But if it did open, the abstractions would get loose and destroy things, because they're good at destruction. That's what they're best at, really. And they would just... yeah, I already said that. But what if Jax got attacked by one of them, and he assumed it was Ribbit? He thought, oh, that's Ribbit, and then he just gave up. Because honestly, that's what I think he would do in that situation. He would give in, because I feel like he's that type of person. So maybe they would show that to, like, show what it would feel like. Because in episode 7, we do get a representation of what abstraction feels like. So I feel like we would also get a representation of what glitching feels like. Though it could also be the holding the breath thing. So there's that. Pomni is crying, which is not good. I feel like a couple of the clips that we get in the trailer could tie together. And this is how I'm piecing them. There's a clip where Pomni's hand is being held out to Ragatha, and Ragatha's sitting on the floor. So maybe what's happening here is Ragatha's like, what do we do? Kane isn't here. We're done. We're done for. And then Pomni holds her hand out and says, we can get through this, or something stupid. And then Ragatha probably says something like, you can't fix everything just by uniting people. Not everything can be solved. Something along those lines. And there's this other clip where Pomni's just standing in that same area, looking off into the distance. So maybe everyone else leaves, Ragatha included, and Pomni just feels like, oh, I'm not actually helping by trying to unite people, because Pomni is, in reality, the glue to everyone in the circus. She's basically trying to keep everyone together. So after that, Pomni would be found crying, I don't know by whom, and saying, I just wanted to help, because she's basically being ignored, but she's not really helping, even though what she's trying to do somewhat does help? I don't know. That's my assumption for what would go on with those clips there. We do see Gangle with her manager mask, which at first caught me off guard, because I was not expecting that. I thought we got rid of that mask, but we have it again. Gangle is probably wearing it because she's probably wearing it to mask, to cope with what they're going through right now. Everyone really is going through right now, so she's probably wearing it as a coping mechanism, even though she realized, hey, this isn't a coping mechanism that works, as proven by episode 4. And this isn't a good coping mechanism that I can use now, so that's probably why she looks like that here. Also, this feels very familiar. Looking at her doing this, with this camera position, with her body in that position, looks pretty much the exact same as what Jax was doing in the bathroom in episode 6. And this intrigues me again. They have more similarities than I realized before watching the trailer, because they both have a sort of vehicular trauma. Because Jax in episode 7 has car flashbacks of a driver's seat, and Gangle has been shown getting hit by a semi multiple times. In manga, there's like a trope where a character gets hit by a truck and then goes somewhere else, I think. I think that's what it is. But it could also just be her getting hit by a truck. So they have shared trauma for that. So maybe they're trying to show how else they mirror each other with this scene here. So the stars here, I feel like there could be two things to explain what's going on here. Number one, it's to show a passage of time from like current time to flashback and vice versa. And I will get onto flashbacks later because we have Ribbit to talk about. But another thing this could be is because Kane is gone, he doesn't have control over the solar and lunar cycles, so maybe time is just wonky. So maybe, like, the sun and moon aren't working and the stars aren't working either. I don't know. There's that. But Ribbit, oh my god! She's pretty. She's so pretty. The model looks amazing. All of it looks great. Sky Redden sounded amazing. Kudos to you. But, I'm not prepared for this. We see Ribbit and Jax hanging out in a room from Jax's perspective because of how the camera is positioned. Like, the camera is where Jax's head would be. And I'm pretty sure this is Ribbit's room because the ceiling looked a little different than other ones that we had seen before. And we haven't seen a star projecting thing. Like little things that project the stars onto the ceiling and the wall. You know what I'm talking about? That thing right there. Yeah, we haven't seen that anywhere, I don't think. So I'm pretty sure this is Ribbit's room. And I would really want to see Ribbit's room, please. But there's also this clip. I'm gonna say it flat out right here, right now, that I think Ribbit hung herself. I mean, like, the position in which Jax is standing, where he's looking up, and the camera is set high. Ribbit hung herself. Maybe that's... oh my god. I honestly really think Goose would go that far, given that she's already clarified that Jax does have suicidal tendencies, but... man, I feel bad. My baby! It's my baby! They're my babies! I don't want this to happen. But that's all that I have to talk about. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry if the sound quality was bad or if you heard random noises. I'm recording this in a car at 9 o'clock at night, so there's that. Thank you so much again. I hope everything in here made sense. Yeah. Bye-bye!